Abandoned 911 calls are a growing problem, taking up time and resources for emergency responders. In Janesville, police have seen the number of calls increase by thousands over just the past few years. Our Rock County reporter Jenna Middaugh spoke with Janesville officials about why the problem is growing and what can be done to fix it.
Back in June, the Rock County Communications Center got a 911 call and heard this.
Somebody's dying!
Well, where are you? Where's your mom?
In this case, the mom was sleeping and didn't know her kids had the phone. But calls like that and hang-ups like this.
Rock County 911, where's the emergency? Hello?
Make up about one emergency call every hour.
Majority of the time, it's like, it's a pocket dial. Didn't mean to call you, my kid was playing with the phone.
But the call takers need to follow up with every 911 call to make sure everything's all right. That often means calling the person back if they hang up and searching for the caller's location if they don't answer.
It can be a long process, and when you get at least one an hour, it takes up a lot of time, and meanwhile other phones are ringing, and the call taker has to kind of juggle all of that.
Call takers sometimes have to turn to cell phone companies to get an approximate location of where the call came from, and then they pass that information along to police so officers can follow up.
We generally do not find a crime or a citizen needing help, but until we go, we don't know.
Over the past 5 years, Janesville police have seen a steady increase in abandoned 911 calls from a little less than 3,000 calls in 2012 to well over 5,000 last year. Police say they have to check on about 14 abandoned 911 calls every day, and they say cell phones are the main culprit.
Almost everyone in our community has one that's probably above the age of 14, and there are accidental dialings.
They are a drain on our resources and the police department's resources.
But they don't have to be. Officials say there are several things you can do to help cut down on the time it takes them to look into abandoned 911 calls. Like stay on the line and give them your address if you accidentally call 911.
So just stay on the phone, explain what happened. It doesn't mean that the police won't come out and make sure everything's okay, but it will save us from having to call you back or look up other information.
Officials also suggest making sure you have a lock on your phone to make it harder to pocket dial and take batteries out of old phones before giving them to kids to play with.
Can you go get mom?
Yeah, she's asleep.
Can you go wake her up?
Sometimes people think that, oh, I've got this old flip phone and I'll just let my grandchild play with it. Those still can call 911. Deactivated phones still call 911.
The calls might seem harmless, but the biggest concern is what if.
We think that the risk of something bad happening is too great.
In Janesville, Jenna Middaugh, WISC News 3.
The Rock County 911 Center made a special video last year to talk about this problem with abandoned 911 calls. You can check that out along with a list of tips to prevent accidental dials on our website, channel3000.com.